Okay, so first is Virginia. You said I'd love some feedback on my website in general. If that's too much, I'd appreciate the feedback on the freebie. Okay, well let's take a look here. So I'm gonna open this up and I'll do a little screen share. So, okay, the resistance reframe. Resistance isn't the problem, it's the path. Supporting you to get unstuck by working with, not against your resistance. Right, you're feeling stuck on your health and well-being journey. You're feeling stumped by your client's stuckness. Right, okay, so this takes us right to lets us know, where we want to be. First step in ending the war with resistance, use this free self-assessment and guide to get the 3 steps for working through resistance you can apply immediately to start getting yourself or your clients unstuck without having to start from scratch. Great. Resistance roadmap. Here's Virginia. Grand. All right, little bio. Okay. I mean, overall, good. So, Virginia, my question is, uh, do people come to you knowing they're struggling with resistance to something? Is that common, do you find?
What I have found is since creating this, and I've done a podcast, I've done some workshops, I've been very slowly building it in the background, is that the people who resonate it with the most hear the word resistance, they say yes. Like that's what's going on for me. I use the word stuck a lot because it's also the other word that people use a lot is they say that they're stuck.
Okay. And so this is particularly, it seems to be one of 2 categories. It's either they're stuck on their health and well-being journey, or it's with their clients. And
Mhm.
what percentage are in each category?
The whole thing has sort of been a beta test, and I found that probably 3/4 of the clicks are on like the seeker side, what I've denominated the seekers, so the people who are on their own journey and feeling stuck. And then, a quarter are clicking on the professionals. But I've had more people reach out to me who are stuck themselves than I have professionals, which surprised me because I originally was just going with the professionals.
Yeah.
Um, but that's sort of the unofficial feedback I've been getting.
And the people who are stuck on their own journey, are they also practitioners? Like what percentage of them are?
No,
No, okay.
no one who's reached out to me is actually who's reached out to me directly is actually one of the professionals. When I did a workshop for professionals, it was received really well. A lot of people gave really good feedback, but in terms of who's been finding me or reaching out, it's more people on their own journeys.
Yeah. Okay. So then let's um generally this kind of, I mean, from a point of view standpoint, I love this idea of stuck and resistant. Generally, I encourage people to shy away from it, partly because if everybody's saying it, and almost everybody is, like, do you feel stuck in some way? And um, it becomes very generic, and I don't think it has a lot of long-term viability. And we've got to trust the response we get, well, here's what I'd say is this, if you get in front of a group of people, like
Mhm.
these people who are reaching out to you on their own, the seekers, how are they hearing about you? How are they finding you? Yeah.
One of the things was through the podcast that I did. I did a workshop like at a gym, those kinds of things when I've been um, kind of in those situations. I have a private practice, and so when I talk to my clients about that, like as this idea has been getting started, and I've been sort of passing along things to them, it's been resonant. And I have clients who come to me through my private practice, which is a totally separate website, that when they see this other project, because I've linked to it there, they say, yes, like this is I want people have often struggled because they get stuck with whoever they've been working with and they don't feel like that person helps them get kind of out of that place or understands what's going on is often the what I hear from people.
Right. I've been spending a bunch of money and time working with somebody, and I'm in the same place I was a while ago, and I can't seem to get out of the loop.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's interesting. In terms of, I would just say if somebody stumbled across the, it feels like an every niche kind of situation. But it's just telling to me that most of the clients are coming from podcast or presentation where they're already there. They're
Mm-hmm.
kind of already listening, and you have a chance to make the case around it. So you're making the case for a point of view, and they say that point of view makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, stuck generally resonates, but I would say stuck, there's a difference of, and again, we got to go with if it works for you, grand. But there's a difference between width and depth in
Mm-hmm.
niche. And if it's going to be on the internet, I'd be 1 inch wide and a mile deep. If we're local in a community, it might be really wide. So this is very wide, I would say. And it may work for you because you may connect with the right hubs. They themselves might be compelled by your point of view and want to bring you in. And then you're in front of the people doing a signature workshop or an interview. And you get to talk and share about this idea. And they say, ah, this makes sense. This is what I'm needing. The thing that's a little missing from me here, it's just real short on the words. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
space. But what you just said about, hey, you've been working with a therapist or a coach or something, you haven't made progress. I'd love to see that written here. I'd love to see a bit more about their lived experience. Yeah.
Yeah, it's down at the bottom. I think on this page, if I'm not mistaken, if you go down, is it here? Yeah,
Oh, okay. At the top.
move it to the top.
Yeah, I didn't even know this was here. I sort of stopped scrolling at a certain point because it's like, here's the picture, here's the testimonial. That's usually where a page ends or
Okay.
something. So I was just like, oh, yeah, great, cool, that's it. Yeah. So to me, this goes right under here.
Okay.
Like it's this very second thing, because the most important thing is that we establish relevance. Um, so I would just say if you're gonna go the route of yeah, hubs and presentations and podcast interviews, this could work well. And if it's sort of like Facebook ads on this kind of thing, or hoping people stumble across the website and just see themselves, I would say the chances are low. Um,
Mhm.
and then I also find myself curious, who's your ideal client? Um, and let's see, because my guess is there's some more filtering that could be done. It's beautifully done. I mean, it's a gorgeous, the aesthetic is top notch. Um, yeah. So
Yeah, and so I think the it's helpful to hear because it's sort of what I'm aware of because I have my private practice, which I'm niching more and more and more and more. I'm going to be working specifically with men. Like I'm even dropping couples and getting that really, really specific. And the idea with this was to create kind of because I don't want to be doing like passive income stuff in that realm. I want to keep my private practice over here, and then this is more of like a passive income project. And I think that's where I struggled to narrow it down is it really is the people who've been in the game for a really long time are often the ones who stumble across the things and feel like it resonates. And so maybe it's speaking to that a bit more, like the people who are burned out on like their own personal wellness journey.
yeah, so then I would say at the top, there or in that next section is like you've been in this game for a long time. You've spent this probably at least this many years. You've read all these books. You've done all the trends, and you still find yourself fundamentally stuck, and you can't figure out why. That's probably what I would focus on.
Mhm.
So overall, good. I would just say the Yeah, to me, this one is a very specific situation. Like
Mhm.
you are a health and wellness professional stumped by your client stuckness. Like to me, this has immediate hubs, immediate relevance.
Mhm.
This is just much broader. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's what I would say.
great.
Yeah. But good to see you again.
You too. Thank you. Thanks for the feedback. It was helpful, and we'll see where it keeps going.
All right.